In a country where 80% of the people live at below $2 a day, are you telling me that the 20% top or maybe 10% top who use the petrol has suddenly become Aam Aadmi and your heart is bleeding for them and nothing happens for the 80%? Why don't you defend them? Why do you defend petrol prices?
Lord Desai, with respect,
Lord Desai, the people who own motorcycles are not poor. People who drive motorcycles
one at a time, gentlemen.
80% of the people in India are not affected by the petrol or the diesel. It doesn't constitute their daily shell out or their pocket expenses. For them it is what is important is the inflation which is prevailing at 12.21. It is 12.21 which is the inflation which is affecting them. Therefore I am saying all these ally parties.
Gentlemen, I'm coming in. Gentlemen, I'm coming in. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. I find it incredibly surprising. I find it.
Allow me. While I'm speaking, the others are coming in, butting in.
Yes. My point is simple. My point is simple.
Are we really talking about the Aam Aadmi by rolling back these prices?
My point is simple.
My point is talking about the inflation
Siddharth,
which is prevailing at 12.21%.
This is about politics, isn't it? Siddharth, let's be clear.
No,
I find it amusing. I find it amusing that the moment I mention.
Why should you find amusing?
No. Allow me.
When Mamata Banerjee and the allies are talking about theatrical shows or the stunts you are calling it, you don't think they are doing politics?
1 second, Siddharth, allow me.
The Aam Aadmi is suffering because of the mismanagement of this government. Now, who's responsible? It's a collective responsibility of the entire government.
The question tonight on the news hour is political. Siddharth Vardarajan made a political point, and I want to take that further, and I go back to Siddharth and Mohammed Salim. I'm coming to you. Question is this: of course, this is political, but Derek O'Brien, can the DMK afford to abandon the UPA? Today, can the NCP, 1 minute, can the NCP afford to jump out of the UPA ship? Doesn't the National Conference need the Congress to stay in power in Jammu and Kashmir? Isn't Lalu Prasad struggling to stay afloat? Doesn't the Samajwadi Party have a mutually beneficial relationship and a common enemy with the Congress in Mayawati? I mean, you are going to have to look at the political picture today. Or are you saying, Derek O'Brien, that you don't care about, 1 minute, Derek O'Brien, that central political stability does not matter to you today? Because you have realized that a 1 rupee 80 paise increase in petrol is more important. And you've realized it after 11 hikes in the last 12 months.
No.
Derek.
Absolutely incorrect. If we did not think central stability, there are two issues here. First is, since we've called this the choreograph, the stunt, the lever, I think the word should be used is the shopping bag. That is our concern. The shopping bag. The shopping bag is the prices going up. That is number one. And the second is the way the Trinamool Congress is being treated in the UPA. But let me answer your question, because I cannot speak for any of the other parties. I can speak for the Trinamool Congress. We have been elected to govern in Bengal with 185 seats. We've been elected to govern. If we were not responsible, we would have not, as my leader suggested today, that please, you have your point of view, let the Prime Minister come back. That's as responsible as anyone can get.
No, so what? Prime Minister's put his position clear. What? I mean, I don't understand. What's this brinkmanship about? You expect the Prime Minister to change his position in the next 48 hours?
Okay, let me tell you.
No, 1 minute. Is it possible the Prime Minister has already called the bluff?
No,
he said no.
Hear me out. The parliamentary committee, including 6 ministers, have put their resignations addressed to the Prime Minister, that is lying with Mamata Banerjee. She has said, very fine. The situation on the prices is unacceptable, but please hold your horses. No. Let the Prime Minister, this is the common courtesy, let the Prime Minister come back from his foreign trip.
Ask the left. When the Prime Minister made his position on the nuke deal clear, many people thought, the Prime Minister will change his position. I don't think the Prime Minister changed his position on the nuke deal, and the left parties know. What do you think, Mohammed Salim, as the Prime Minister made his position
clear? We are discussing on the present. Asking the left is discussing history. So we are discussing the
present. Prime Minister said...
Now you have a kind of alliance government.
Yes, Mr. Salim.
UPA 2, you have a kind of alliance where the two alliance partners are not in talking terms. If I believe Mr. Derek O'Brien or Mamta's statement, so they want an audience from the Prime Minister when he comes back. From Calcutta to Cannes, whole world is listening because it's a deregulated regime, and Mamta was part of the group of ministers in 2010 June when it was decided that the petrol price will be deregulated. So you are part of the decision, now the effect is there and you are playing to the gallery. How this deregulation could be possible without the help of the Trinamool Congress at center? Mamata Banerjee was a part of the group of ministers in June 2010 when this was decided. So it is a drama, it's a theatre, and you are taking for a ride. When you met last fortnight with the Prime Minister in the lunch meeting, where was the Aam Aadmi? Where was the price rise? Why this point was not being taken into consideration?
Let us not talk about playing to the galleries. Your galleries around you are empty. So let's not talk about playing to the galleries. The people of Bengal have given you a strong message about playing to empty galleries. So let's stick to the point today. The prices have gone up.
So we are watching the theatre. We are watching the theatre. You play the theatre.
Theatre. This is a theatre. Unfortunately, your theatre ended in a tragedy.
Yes. Yes. Enough comedy. We have seen enough comedy. You are supporting a government who is not listening to you. You can stop agreement. You can stop land acquisition act. You cannot stop price hike. Is it not a drama?
This is incredible. Siddharth Varadarajan, 1 second. Siddharth Varadarajan, what do you think is going to happen over the next 3 days? Should the people of this country, Siddharth, be concerned that Mamata Banerjee is going to stare so hard back that the UPA will fall into a terrible minority? You completely rule out the possibility, Siddharth?
It's highly unlikely. The Prime Minister, when he comes back, will go through the motions of consultation. There will be a lot of a show at taking her concerns on board. But at the end of the day, I don't foresee a rollback. In any case, 1 rupee 80. There's not much scope to do a 50% rollback or whatever. So I don't think they're going to grant Mamta's demands. However, Mamta's pressure will produce other kinds of results which will perhaps satisfy her in the short and medium term. Because as of now, even though she is secure in West Bengal, she can, in a sense, topple or help topple the UPA at the center without affecting her state government. That wasn't the case, for example, with the DMK in Tamil Nadu earlier. But I don't see her doing that. However, I do feel that in the long run, the Congress party is bound to ask itself how stable an ally is Mamata going to be, and this is pertinent when it comes to seat-sharing agreements for the 2014 elections. Because the fact is that she has her own agenda and her own mind. She knows that and realizes the dangers of going with the BJP. But for the Congress, she's not a very reliable ally, and it's this kind of brinkmanship that further reinforces the impression that the Congress is in a very bad position in West Bengal, as in many other states. And unless the party gets its act together at the individual state level, it will always remain a prisoner to this kind of brinkmanship. Mohammad Salim is quite right. I mean, Mamata was a party to the framework decision, which is leading to constant increases in the price of petrol. So she can't now disassociate herself from that. From the fruits of her of this poisonous tree, as she may put it, that she helped to plant. This is a reality.
I also want to point out, look at the macro picture here. Meghnad Desai also, you see, I think a very top Congress leader recently remarked, when asked, can the left and the Congress come together, he said the only problem was Prakash Karat's position. Tomorrow, if we have a more flexible leader of the CPIM, maybe the two sides can do business together. So you see, there is a message there. Even for Mamata Banerjee, isn't there? That if possible, maybe Mohammad Salim's party and the Congress can come back. Maybe they're a more predictable ally. Maybe that's an option.
We are a very
shifting the issues.
Yes or no? Or no? I do not want to make any comments on those folks who are indulging in fantasy land. But what I will say is that if there is one person, a politician in India, a leader who personifies the Aam Aadmi, Mamata Banerjee is at the top of that list. Let this point be made today, and just 1 minute. And and responsible, reliable ally. We are here to be a responsible, reliable ally. Our message is that we are not being treated as an ally,
Okay.
as an ally in a consultative, inclusive way.
Okay, Siddharth,
we believe
Siddharth.
if it's inclusive,
Siddharth Singh, do you think they're going to carry out this threat from what you're listening tonight? Last word.
Arnab, I have liked the word shopping bag, but the shopping bag is not of the Aam Aadmi where the prices are going up. I would concur with Siddharth Vardarajan that this is a shopping bag where Mamta wants to full bounties from the center by blackmailing them, and she is not going to trade it off for the Aam Aadmi. Aam Aadmi is going to still suffer, and Mamta and her ministers are going to remain part of this government.
Thank you
and they must own up the responsibility of this high price rise.
Okay, you've been allies in the past, you know each other very well, you can perhaps predict each other's moves. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me on the News Hour debate tonight. They can predict each other's moves. Maybe the Congress, the BJP, the left, Mamta, they can all predict each other's moves. Maybe we are the only ones who can't.